Lenny put up that wall of words to hide from you the fact that I'm the president of the College Board, responsible for things like advanced placement and other causes of mass misery, like the SAT. It is inviting me to a discussion of debate and freedom. It's kind of like inviting Darth Vader to a discussion of democracy. So I'm glad to be here. And it's interesting to try to speak to this audience that is at once composed of a lot of students who are just at the beginning of college or just on their way to college, and some of us who are older. Maria Sanchez, the much celebrated Urban Debater of the Year, taught me early tonight the kind of humility the young could inflict on the older. You know, you'd think she'd have some respect, but she's already into college. I can't hurt her anymore. And she said to me, she stood next to me, she was like, "Oh, you used to debate, huh?" You know, used to can be a very cruel word. And then she said, "It's a lot faster now." You know, as if those of us of my generation watched the hay roll by very slowly as we remarked on the goings-on in the world before you young things sped by us. So, congratulations, Maria. I'd like to do three things with you. And before I do them, I just want to talk about one person who just spoke, who's Lenny Gale. I don't know if you use this term anymore, but when I got a call from Lenny Gale, all I could think about is this really weird term we used when we were in high school. It was to call someone a debate god. Do you still do this? Do you call people debate gods? It's so weird. It's such a sin against religion, isn't it, to call someone a debate god? To call Lenny Gale a god is to found a very strange cult indeed, really, isn't it? So for Lenny Gale, for Massey and Gale, for all of you great debaters who I admired so much, and falsely called gods when I was young, because I really had nothing else to swear allegiance to. Kind of pathetic, really, to find God in debaters. But I did. You were my heroes, in a sad kind of way. But I gotta say, to see you later in life devoting yourself to extending this opportunity to so many more people is a quite amazing thing. It almost redeems you. To Lenny Gale and his colleagues who have made the National Urban Debate League, who have given so unstintingly and completely of themselves to this movement through thick and thin, you amaze me, and congratulations. Lenny wants me to continue because he knows that after you say something kind about someone, the roast begins, but I shall move on. I'll say a word about my work at the College Board, a word of advice to those of you at the brink of college, and then a little bit of why I'm here, of what I think's at stake in this discussion of debate right now. First, the College Board. So as I've told you, we're responsible for some tests you've heard of, so you might expect me to talk about testing. It makes me so very popular. Isn't it wonderful to go to dinner and you're like, oh, I can talk about testing. So let me give you a resolution. We speak in terms of resolutions. Let me boil it down for you. Resolved. Assessment without opportunity is dead. We don't need more tests. We need more opportunities. My increasing conviction is that the assessment community, and the College Board is included in that, has not met its promise to advance opportunity in this country. If you wonder why people are really mad about tests, they're right. They haven't done what they said they would. They haven't installed merit and excellence. They have not diversified our colleges by income the way they've hoped and in many other ways. And I want to talk to you about what I found as I became president 4 years ago, which was something of a crisis. Not in the College Board's finances or its strength as an institution, but in the delivery of its mission. So let me put it very simply. If you were to defend the SAT, the best argument, right, you're all debaters, what would you make? Why would you defend this heartless test given en masse to all high school students? Because you'd say, it shall find the diamond in the rough. It shall find the young person overlooked by grades and other forces in a high school, and it shall lift them up. And for that reason, we give this large-scale test. So we looked at the data to see what actually happens. So if you look at students in this country and you see those that score in the top 10% of SAT, but are in the bottom quartile of income. So these students are low income, or you could even say poor, but they're athletes. They've scored at the very highest range of performance. Over half those students do not even apply to a selective college today. So the assessment didn't deliver opportunity. The assessment didn't pluck them like a diamond in the rough. It just wasted their time, actually. And many other kids move forward. That's one reason. The second reason, we gave AP Computer Science for the first time in 2010, the AP Computer Science exam. In 14 states in this country, no African Americans took the exam. In 2010. In 14 states in this country, no Latinos took the exam. Less than 20% of the people taking AP Computer Science in 2010 were young women. So that AP Computer Science exam did not advance opportunity. In fact, if those numbers continue, it will build a wall of inequality into the next century. Inequality of access into advanced computer science is a wall for our future. Third reason, maybe the most popular, that assessment doesn't advance opportunity, or the SAT in particular, there's this problem, right? What do people with a lot of money get for the SAT that others don't? Test prep. Whoops. We thought we would build a meritocracy around a shared test, and this huge industry arose, which gave huge advantages, or certainly perceived advantages, to wealthy who could buy test prep. So for all those reasons and more, I think assessment without opportunity is dead. So when I became president, I felt we had to shift everything we do to advance opportunity. And I'm going to describe that to you very briefly, and then turn to some of my advice for you as you carve your own journey. But what does it mean to design assessment to advance opportunity? The first rule is you're only allowed to test things that are already taught in school. It is totally stupid to have an SAT or a college entrance exam that tests things that you're not already doing in high school and that you're not going to do in college. Why? You should do nothing to prepare for the SAT that you're not doing to prepare for college. What does this exclude, this law I've just propounded? Think about SAT words. What is the definition of an SAT word? It is a word you likely have not heard before, and you won't likely hear again. But we decided at some point that we would make knowing such words the royal road to college. Think about what that meant for English language learners in this country. It would determine who went to college if you know an obscure list of words that intimidate native English speakers. Great idea. Way to build confidence and equal access. We in the new SAT have banned SAT words. We've only tested 3 topics in mathematics, broad topics, that focus on areas of math most used in secondary school, in college or career training. And what I mean by that is whether you want to be an engineer, which is the area of advanced math, or whether you want to study throughout just those 3. Why did we focus on 3 areas of math when we redesigned the SAT? Because when you tell a student to study math, like the ACT does or the SAT used to, don't worry, it's math on the test, that is terrifying. Think of someone telling you that you're going to take a test that's going to determine your life's path, and what's on it is mathematics. All of it. Don't worry, just prepare yourself. That kind of approach led to exams that were full of fear and mystery. And what we felt we first had to do with the SAT is make it exactly like the work students were already doing, to make it fully open and full of no surprises. The second step we needed to take, though, was to address the issue of test preparation. For a generation, I don't know if you've heard the College Board say this, you know, in debate when you make an argument that nobody believes, it's not the most successful approach, but the College Board got away with it for about 50 years. It said what about test preparation? It doesn't matter. Remember that? Oh, that test prep. Or rather kind of, we made a great test. It's regrettable that this awful industry of test preparation has grown up around it. Well, our view now is it may not be our fault, but it most certainly is our problem. And that's why we partnered with Khan Academy to provide free test preparation for the world. We partnered only with Khan Academy, and so forever going forward, the best test preparation, the best items, the best quality of work is available for students for free. So we started giving the new SAT for the first time this March. We launched Khan Academy in June. Anyone want to guess how many students have signed up on Khan Academy? You're bright. Come on, you can start guessing. I have other questions later, so get ready. This is the softball.
I think Maria would like to answer that.
Maria? No, it's cool. Maria's like, I'm done with that. I have bad dreams about that. I don't want to talk about that. 1.1 million students. We estimate already after our first year with Khan Academy that more than 4 times as many students are studying, practicing with Khan Academy for the SAT, 4 times as all the commercial test prep in this country combined. At every level of income, and the distribution of race using Khan Academy equals that of the test, which is very surprising. And it wasn't by chance. It's because we partner with the Boys and Girls Clubs, with churches, with other forces in our society to get those resources out to kids. Yeah, it's good. But another force in America is not just about getting prepared or practicing, and I was just talking to Mylan at my table about this. It's about taking the opportunities you've earned. Remember when I talked about those students who did so well on SAT, but they betray themselves and don't apply to college? I was just getting a talk about a conversation at my table about someone who was getting good grades in school, but didn't think to push and aspire further. This is absolutely predictable by both race and income in this country. Students who work hard, do well, but betray themselves at the moment of applying to the future. And one reason for it is very simple. Do you know that to apply often to college, you have to fill out a fee waiver in order to apply? Because there's an admissions fee that you pay to apply. So we looked at this data, and so what we decided was we went to all the colleges and we said, hey, wait a minute. We give them a fee waiver to take the SAT. Can't we just share that information with you so that you can waive the fees for them to apply to college? And the colleges agreed. So today, every student who takes the new SAT gets 4 fee waivers to apply to college with their name on them. My favorite day on the job is a student posted on Instagram the fee waivers with his name on them to apply to college. And he said, the College Board sent me fee waivers because I am awesome. He did not say because I am poor. And we've just extended this fee waiver to our financial aid services for young people. In my humble opinion, it is madness of this country that we force poor families to say again and again they are poor for small amounts of money. Why not instead let them prove that once and then accelerate them forward through every other task that they have open to them? I spoke earlier of the very scary results in AP Computer Science. I'll say only this. We launched a campaign. We called it All In. The very simple notion of All In is if you look at our PSAT and MSQT data, a lot of kids take PSAT before they take SAT early in their high school careers. Many more students are ready for advanced placement than choose to take it. And disproportionately is from students from certain ethnic groups. So if you take 10 kids who score on PSAT ready for AP Calculus, 6 Asian students will wind up taking AP Calculus. 4 white students, 4 out of 10. Only 3 out of 10 black students who are ready will take it. Only 3 out of 10 Latino students, and only 2 out of 10 Native American students. So we linked up with school districts around the country with a very simple proposition. What about we get all those kids in? We called it All In. All those kids who are already in. And I can tell you, that last year, when we gave AP Computer Science again, there's only one state in the country that had no black students taking that exam, and only one state with no Latino students taking the exam. I can tell you today, there are 126,000 young women who are ready for AP Computer Science if we can get them in. It's time. So thank you. That's how I see the work of the College Board. It is far too long, while it's done very good work, been something of a gate on the way to college, and that's not enough. It's time to both help students prepare, but also propel them forward to claim their opportunities. It's why we added $180 million of scholarships to PSAT. When we gave the 40,000 names to scholarship providers, like scholarships seem fair. Again, Mylan, who was talking to me at my table, said he was lucky he got a scholarship. In my humble opinion, scholarships are way too much about luck. It's who you know. Do you have a school counselor who knows you? But by giving out the PSAT data, we allowed scholarship organizations like the Jack Kent Cooke Foundation to find rural students the first time who can remain hidden otherwise, hidden from view, because they don't know about these scholarships. So my basic belief about assessment, folks, is that it is in a lot of ways not nearly as powerful as we give it credit for. The real work is done by teachers in classrooms and student work, and the humility is really important. But if it doesn't advance opportunity, it's not worth the time. And we've got to stop making excuses for it and start doing a lot more work to deliver that kind of opportunity. That's my sense of where we need to go as the College Board. Let me ask you, as young people, where you need to go, given you're going to college or starting in college. So I have two questions for you. And you haven't been such a good audience on offering answers. So I think it's time to get a little more serious. What, for those of you who are still in high school, what besides your grades or performance on a standardized exam like ACT or SAT most predicts your success in college? That you can see on a college application. Take in my question. What can you see on a college application besides grades and an ACT or SAT score that most predicts your success in college? Come on. This is $20, by the way. Race. Set. Debate. Self-love is a powerful thing. What else? I can't hear you. You better just shout. I can't call on you from here. Extracurricular activities. He said that first. Remember that. He didn't, but he knew what to say after you said it. Anything else, folks? Nothing? Recommendations. What? AP classes. Way to play to the guy in front with the $20 bill. That guy's going places. Any other ideas? What? Economics? Oh, your status. How much money you have in the bank. My favorite answer so far someone gave me is your mom. Okay, you're all very bright, but I haven't heard the answer yet. Where you're from? Income was said. That was financial status, but nice try to get the second hit again. Your essay. What? Increases in grades. Very astute, but not the answer our research shows. Who you know, indeed, and perhaps who you're in love with for that matter, but not in our research. Maybe who you don't know. What? Geographic location. Academic potential as measured by what? We gave you grades and test scores. What are you talking about? Okay. The answer that you got close to but did not get is it is your sustained participation in an extracurricular activity called follow-through. What I mean by that is it's not doing something for a year. Okay, folks, none of you said it, so stop it. Mumble, mumble, mumble. It is your sustained participation in a single activity outside of your work of the classroom and doing better and better at it. I think this is a very significant piece of research for a lot of reasons. One reason is because as president of the College Board, something I am very worried about is the unproductive anxiety that faces our nation's teenagers as they prepare to go to college. It is stupid and not supported by research. Yes, that's a College Board president. It is stupid and not supported by research that students have to do tons of activities in a frenzy to get themselves ready to college or prove that they are ready for college or that they're a good candidate for college. The only thing research shows is to do one thing. It's one sustained thing that you show devotion to, that you get better at. I've been working with the admissions officers. I'm trying to, in the Common Application for college, there are now 12 boxes for you to fill out with your activities in high school to apply to college. My view is, why not 3? Right? If you want to do more things, God bless you, but don't do them to get into college. That's stupid. There should be more time, in my humble opinion, for young people, for faith, for family, for fun, to just hang out. What scares me is not debate getting faster, which I'm not sure it has, by the way. But the frenzied busyness of our nation's young people I am very fearful of what that's doing to everything we care about at every level of our society. Second question, now it's $40 because I still have 20 from the other one. What? 7. What set of decisions can you make while you're in college? How many of you are about to go to college or just starting? You have reason to know this. I'm giving the secrets of power, folks. Pay attention. What set of decisions or decision can you make once you start college that will most affect your likelihood of succeeding and thriving? Be loyal. How thoughtful. What? Time management. Your major. Find something you love to do, or maybe someone you love to do it with. Extracurricular activities. Every now and then the same answer is no longer the right answer. Anything else, folks? C. Financial aid. How much you drink, really, at sorority party? No. Yes. Anything else? Knowing what you want to do or what you don't want to do, for that matter. Service. Sleep. Yeah, I believe that. Okay. No, again, we'll figure out how to distribute this money later, but the answer is who you choose as your teachers. The most important and significant choices you make as an undergraduate are who you choose to study with. The teachers you select, now the institutions will not tell you this. No college I have seen, yet born to man, none of those listed there, tells its incoming freshmen, a lot of our teachers are just okay. No matter what the brand of our college, you should know the truth, which is that we only have a few that transform kids' trajectory. And your most important task is to find them. I promise you this, all of you who are high school students just leaving high school or going into college, please remember your high school years, where there were likely a handful or less of teachers who moved you, or a debate coach, or someone else. College is exactly the same way. It doesn't matter if it's branded as a community college, a selective college, or Yale, or wherever it is. It's the same problem. There's a lot of variety. Find the best teachers. That's your most important single task. Follow them. Learn what they're doing. And all our research shows that's what will propel you forward. So why debate? Why am I here? If there was a debate God, or if God was a debater, which, depending on your religious faith, is a very serious possibility, all of us involved in education struggle with a terrible fact. As education gets more important to young children, they get increasingly sick and tired of school. The crisis of American education is as kids grow up, they disconnect from the work. All of us are knocking themselves out, and the kids are like, I'm not having it. Have you all seen this data? It's also true of parents. Imagine if there was a God of education, that God would design an activity that would return students in their adolescence to fundamental skills that will transport them throughout their lives, and he would taint it using his colleague, the devil, with the cement of competition, with success and failure. He would make it a fight, or she would make it a fight. And what I find so amazing and so powerful is I know of no technology, no force in our field in education which causes young people at this age to strive, to fight based on words and evidence, but in doing so change themselves. There really isn't much else like it. And I think what you miss when you see the video is you miss perhaps the other crucial thing that debate fosters, which is productive solitude. I think what all of us who are interested in debate miss when we're together in a night like tonight, sitting at tables, is so much time spent alone. When we talk about weekends, and all of you who are debaters, do you remember time doing research and how lonely that was and strange, and being in the library and all that time? And it's interesting because in college and in workplace afterwards, being alone and being productive is one of the most powerful skills you can have. Valid ability to guide yourself when you're alone and keep going is what creates the foundation for the public debate. It's the time alone, the time of your craft, the time of recrafting your arguments. Like that young person said, when you've lost once, I shall never lose again. But that's a retreat to being alone. This activity achieves in young people a diversity of people who care for evidence, who learn to be alone, and engage in some of the work that we all wish was happening much more broadly. So for those of you, as president of the College Board, while I've seen a lot that's promising, if you're wondering whether to be generous, you can put a lot of things in front of young people, but if it does not have the sharp scent and excitement of debate that calls these students to it, that we'll see in the days that follow, you're wasting your money, because only when they take it in their hand has something changed. Thank you so much.